Hey, and welcome to Board with Life News for January 13th. Today I'm going to talk about kids' versions of two popular games, an expansion for Cacao, an update to Archaeology, Quadropple, and the Kickstarter for Fleet Commander. Let's get to it. Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to Board with Life News. So, we got announcements for both Zooloretto Jr. and My First Stone Age coming out. These are obviously younger kids' versions of the popular games Zooloretto and Stone Age. Zooloretto Jr. looks like it's basically just a re-release of Zooloretto Mini that came out in 2010. They've redone the artwork and kind of made it a little bit more kid-friendly, but it looks like pretty much the same game. It's for kids ages 7 and up and plays in about 30 minutes. Not to be outdone by that age, My First Stone Age will be for kids 5 and up and play in about 15 minutes. So these are good if you're looking to get your kids into hobby games, you like playing games with your kids, things like this. So good news there. Cacao, a game that came out last year that I quite liked, is getting its first expansion, major expansion, and it's called Cacao Chocolattle. It's going to have 4 different modules that can be each used individually or combined in different ways. This is a thing that more and more games are doing, and I really like it because it kind of, you take what you like, you leave what you don't like, you can add a little, add a lot, cool stuff. The 4 modules are going to be Cacao, the chocolate module, which says you can turn your cacao that you get in the game into chocolate, which takes more actions, but then you can sell it for more money. The huts module, and huts are going to grant special powers to individual players throughout the game. Irrigation module, where you can harvest a whole bunch of cacao in one turn, but you have to pay some of your water to do it. And the maps module that will have preview tiles that you can see, and then you can also play those on your turns. I'm pretty excited about this. I liked Cacao quite a bit, but I found it a little bit lacking on replayability. Kind of played a little bit the same each time, so having all these different modules will really add to that. This is going to be a day one buy for me. Sticking with Phil Walker Harding game news, he designed Cacao. He also designed a game called Archaeology back in 2007. They are updating Archaeology, and it's going to be called Archaeology The New Expedition. So this is a drafting set collection card game that I quite liked that came out a while back. The new version is going to include tint cards that protect you from sandstorms, new treasure types, more monuments, and it's going to expand so you can fit up to 5 players. I don't know if any of that sounds like enough for me to rebuy the game, but if you haven't played it, it's a really good kind of set collection, simple game, lots of deep strategy. I quite like it, so I recommend it. Days of Wonder has announced their 2016 release is going to be Quadropple. Days of Wonder is the company that did Ticket to Ride and Small World, obviously really big games. They usually focus on doing one major release each year. So this year it's Quadropple. This is a set collection tile placement game where players are building their own metropolises. Interestingly, the designer, it's a first-time designer, or at least this is his first published game, Francois Gandon. So that's interesting that they're kind of rolling the dice on a new designer. Days of Wonder, I don't know if you noticed, but I started designing games, so give me a call, because I've designed more games than this guy. I have to be better, right? The Kickstarter this week is for Fleet Commander Genesis. This is a miniature space skirmish game played on modular boards. It fits 2 to 4 players. Jerry Hawthorne, the designer of Mice and Mystics, I play games with him every week, and he loves this game. He loves this game more than almost anyone I know loves almost any game. He is all about this game. So I'm recommending it simply on the strength of how much he likes it. It has really simple rules that lead to some deep strategic play, so that's really nice. It's not cheap. It comes with tons of ship miniatures and stuff like that, but it is $97 right now on Kickstarter for Genesis, but they also have a couple of expansions that you can get for, I think, 130-ish bucks. So if that sounds like something that you might be into, I would recommend going and backing that. That's the news for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. You've already done that. You watch the news. So the question this week comes from @NettersPlay via Twitter, and they ask, which conventions are you planning to attend this year? I always want to go to every convention, but unfortunately money and time doesn't allow that. But I will be going to, in chronological order, Unpub 6 in Baltimore. This is Unpub where designers pay for tables to show prototypes of their games, and you come. It's totally free if you're just playing games, which is really cool, and you come and play test games, a lot of which will get published. So that's really cool. I'm excited about that. I've got a table. I'll be showing some of my designs. BGG-Con Spring, which is just in my backyard. So I'm excited about that. I like BGG-Con a lot. The main focus is on playing games. There's tons of table space, and they have their insane, gigantic library that you can check games out from. It's great. I don't know if I'm going to Origins. I'd really like to go, but it's right between BGG-Con Spring and Gen Con, so I might not have the time off. We'll see. I will certainly be at Gen Con this year, which is just an absolute madhouse craziness, and I will be going to BGG-Con, the regular BGG-Con that happens in November, which is probably my favorite convention of the year, and you should definitely try to make it if you can. Aside from that, I'll be going to some like smaller local conventions, stuff like that. Those are all the like major ones that I'll be hitting. Okay, that's the news for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week.